All right, the next game, 5+3. Okay, let's try this one. So Sicilian this time. One of the main lines. Okay, e5 immediately. That's a tricky line, I suppose. It shouldn't be that great for black, to be completely honest. So I think the main problem is this move. So we kind of force the exchange of light squared bishops, where after our knight easily gets to d5. So in this particular case, we attack the pawn immediately. So black should probably play something like knight to c5, maybe knight to b6, maybe knight to f6, knight d7 to those squares, I mean. And then our knight gets to c3. If our knight f5 is attacked, it can go back to e3, and we eventually occupy d5. That's why Najdorf is played with the inclusion of a6 move, just to prevent all this stuff. Bishop b5, check in the first place. That is why, actually. So as a result of black's immediate e5, pawn on d6 is weak, but it is always weak if you play e5 sooner or later, doesn't matter. But here I have the access to those weaknesses. That's the thing. That's a big difference. Normally, neither of there is no chance to attack d6. That's simple. Right? Right. Looks like a good position for white. Okay, makes sense to play g6 before knight f6. Otherwise, I would have played bishop g5 and then knight e3, so super comfortable stuff. Yeah, but this one is also something that I like, indeed. So we get this square without much problems. Let's play a4. The idea is to play a5 and then knight d5. So if knight goes away, I just occupy d5. If black plays a5, let's say this weakens b5 forever, which is also a serious weakening of the position that I can use with various pieces. If we need to, we can think of playing g4, g5 as well at some point. So the main idea is to occupy this square with the knight, and after all the exchanges to have the pieces there again. Ideally the knight. That's why I tried to get rid of that knight on b6. Because if you play knight d5 right now, then after exchanges you have a queen, which is also not bad, but the knight will be even better there. That's the idea. So h4 says, finally able to catch the stream. Happy for you. And I'm happy you're here. Yeah, that's what I was talking about. a5 terribly weakens b5 square. So now the first move that comes to my mind is just to play queen to d3, controlling everything. I mean, it doesn't really create a direct threat maybe, but who knows, maybe queen b5 check is annoying. Since knight on b6 is not protected, maybe black doesn't want to move the king somewhere, so queen d7, okay, I just take the knight, and if knight f goes to d7, there's knight to d5. Yeah, looks like it's not a stupid check, makes some strategic sense here to play it. So we definitely improve our position here, and we definitely make our opponent's position worse in each and every case. If king moves, well, the king will be vulnerable till the rest of the game. If knight moves, then d5 can be occupied immediately. Right? Right. Is it the best move, though? Maybe we should attack d6 somehow instead. So maybe something like castling and rook to d1 can be, but I like the idea of just getting the knight on d5. Yeah. All right. The next move that comes to mind is just this. Again, continuing the normal development with the tempo. What can be better? Knight takes. So black should have played f5, I guess. It was the only dynamic option, which could have been something. Because now I just castle. And f5 is no longer dangerous because I have f3, which was not the case after immediate f5. In that case, black could have captured on e4, then play queen h4 check with my king on e1. And some tricks, all right? Now it's not dangerous for white anymore. Okay, feels like black is not going to do anything active here. So let's just bring our pieces to the center. Let's attack this d6 weakness and win the game gradually. Pay attention to the difference between my bishop and opponent's bishop. So, guys are beyond compare. I mean, that bishop on g7 is doing literally nothing. While my bishop is attacking a real weakness. I believe it was also possible to play something like queen to c6, just directly attacking d6. I'm not sure if black could have protected it. Oh, okay, we're not in a rush here. We have an overwhelming position, I suppose. So we have time and different options. f5. So what to play here? Just play f3. Simple move. I didn't want to take on f5 because in that case, black could have activated the bishop potentially. So my idea is just to keep the pawn on e4 so that there is the pawn on e5, which cannot move, which means bishop on g7 remains super passive. And here, okay, just step back for now. Our position is ultra solid here. There is no attack like in King's Indian Defense for black on the king side. Black simply doesn't have enough resources to organize it. Question is how to proceed from here. Let's try something like this, with the idea of playing b4. So black got more or less active knight. Let's fix it. The knight should go back to a passive position. Yes. Okay. The next stage. Probably I have chosen the wrong rook to go to d1. Another one would have been more logical, and in that case I could have played rook a to c1 in this position. Okay. It's not possible. Not a big problem though. That is our target, and that is our target. So let's just play rook to c1 with the idea of rook to c6. I guess it's a good square, the rook. Could have captured on b6 here. Decided not even to look somewhere else because position is still great. Rook to d1 now. Again, taking on b6 was probably possible, but I just have enough here. So, got the pawn. The first tangible prey. First result. First material result. Okay, rook d8. Isn't it a checkmate or something? It's not a checkmate, but if black captures on d8, then we'll win a piece in addition to what we have already. So after rook d8, black is forced to play bishop f8 immediately. In which case, what can we do? Maybe it makes sense for us to play rook d7, but then there is the exchange, right? Yeah, it's not so clear. All right, so let's try to find the best move. Rook to c6 comes to mind, but then queen goes to e7. It's not so clear to me. Rook to d8, bishop f8. I didn't see a clear follow-up there. I mean, white's position should be winning, but again, not so clear to me. All right, let's start with the b5 move. Just blockading the weakness on b6. Waiting for black's move. Black doesn't have a lot of useful moves here. For example, now we can grab that pawn. Let's get back. Yeah. Bishop f8 was played, right? Rook d7 will simplify this stuff for sure. That should be just good enough. Two extra pawns, right? Bishop is still much better. Pawn b6 will drop very soon. So now my idea is just to play rook c6. Yeah. Yeah. Time to resign. All right. So in general, this e5, in my opinion, is not correct. And most likely just because b5 is not controlled and there's this bishop b5 with a simple play. And then I just occupy d5 and gradually win because of the weakness of d6 pawn, the weakness of d5 square itself. And just like in this game, sometimes it's possible to provoke new weaknesses, like here. So after a5, now b5 is super weak, and so on. So white has strategic advantage, which is not so hard to convert. As I said during the game, probably what I missed here was this f5, but maybe it was not so dangerous, but it was definitely interesting to try, because protecting that pawn on b7 with the rook is not correct at all. So look, you just dedicate the whole rook and the mason piece to, defending a poor pawn, which means nothing in this position. Instead, you should have searched for something active like f5 and some dynamic counterplay. Otherwise, you're anyway gradually lost.